After 16 rounds and an awesome series, it all comes to an end here tonight. The Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series Grand Finale right here at the World Centre of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. We've got a full field yet again, so shout out to all the drivers. But, well, it all comes down to the wire. Dave Douglas may have won the championship, but the King of Daytona is still on the line. Peter Gretton and Jai Schultz in the box once again. Jai, mate, you had a week off last week and you missed an absolute belter at Talladega. Daytona, I think, is going to be the exact same, mate. Good evening to you.
Yeah, cheers, Pete. And yeah, looking forward to Daytona tonight. 45 trucks apparently in the server ready to race, so it should be a pretty good grand finale with the Skypoynt trucks tonight.
You can't wait for that when it all kicks off. Hopefully we can see some green running, but I think you mentioned just before we went on air, Jai, that, well, I think 2 or 3 laps at Daytona to open up the series, that we've seen the big one. So do you reckon that can repeat itself here tonight? Slightly bigger field than we had back then as well.
Yeah, definitely there's a high probability out of any super speedways. Yeah, that middle leg of the Triple Crown here at Skypoynt Trucks, the second of the Daytona legs. I think we were on the back straight on lap 3, and we saw about 60 to 70% of the trucks caught up in that incident. So may happen again tonight. May take a little bit longer than our last time here. The big one at Daytona's always very much with that.
Yeah, well, you know, just a little bit of it. A little bit of us inside likes the crashing, likes the carnage. But then on the other end of the foot, we've also had a few rounds that was a little bit too stop-start, wasn't it? So we green racing, I think, is what we're going to see here tonight, and that's what we want to see. And last week, I think we didn't say it over the broadcast, but Darren McKenzie took out the Talladega leg of the Royal Triple Crown. You'll see Darren McKenzie and Dave Douglas's name in red. So Darren McKenzie took out the King of Daytona. Dave Douglas has already taken out the series, Jai, so that was all wrapped up last week. But we've noticed Michael Skurloff is back in the server here tonight. Let's see what he can do, because this Daytona leg is still on the line.
Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely still up for grabs, and sadly Andy Barber is not in the server tonight, so he won't be able to take out that crown. But Tom Pritchard, a bit of a super speedway king, he's only 12 points behind Skurlock going into tonight, so it's still everything to play for.
It's pretty good when a series goes down to the wire like this, Jai. And I think it's I think that was just my end. I'm tripping. Yeah, it's good to see one leg of the championship go down to the wire, and that's the Daytona. And I think that was a good setup from the league organisers to do it that way. And so it's not a dead rubber, even though the championship's up for grabs. We've still probably got about 3 drivers that can take out that leg of the Royal Triple Crown. And next season there's going to be crown. There's going to be crown races as well, a little bit different. But the prizes, have a look at them, Jai, and you're jumping out of the comms booth for next round. The guys are in qualifying. We'll hope to get through that in a little bit, but you'll be trying to buy into one of these prizes, mate. Look at that cash up for round, up for grabs each week.
Yeah, it's a really good idea from the admins back at Skypoynt to put a bit of prize money up and a little bit more of a want to win kind of goal for every race, and it allows everyone that starts an oval race, doesn't matter where you're racing, if it's Daytonas or like Vegas's 1.5 mile tracks, or even short tracks like Bristol, Dover, those kind of tracks. If you're on the grid, you've got a chance to win in ovals, and that's what's really good about oval racing. And implementing the kind of prize money per race is a really good thing, and it gives everyone a chance to win, plus the lucky dog prize as well. So if you're classed as a finisher next season, they get to spin the wheel, and if that wheel lands on the position that you finished in and you class as a finisher, you get a nifty little $10 prize for that as well. So it gives everyone a chance and a bit of encouragement for people to do well through all the way through the season.
Yeah, it's a great initiative, and what we've seen in the last few rounds here for season 2, guys, it fill up in record time. I think we were at 43 drivers in around about 4 minutes again, so that's like 3 weeks in a row under 4 minutes, and I think we're going to see that again, and that's just because, and I've said it heaps of times off air, there's a couple of things that that you need to get right when running leagues, and that's being organised. And well, I tell you, Andy Barber and Tom Pritchard, they're definitely they run a tight ship, and yeah, definitely onwards and upwards for next season, and we're going to go out with a bang. Several, I think, here tonight at Daytona. Pritchard, though, Superspeedway king, 51.8 provisional pole at the minute. So, well, yet again, Pritchard, he can qualify, can't he, that bloke?
Yeah, definitely can qualify and definitely knows how to get any form of NASCAR, not only the trucks around Daytona and Talladega. So Tom's gone out, set one lap, provisional pole at the moment, and he's actually towed straight back to pit lane. So he's quite happy with that lap, and probably doesn't believe he can go faster on the second lap here at Daytona either. So currently sitting on pole by 0.03 of a second.
And the times are pretty close, and as expected, that's what they will be like pretty much on the racetrack here tonight. If we can stay green, remember Daytona is not a low tire deg, it's no tire deg pretty much. You won't change tyres, it's fuel. And it's all about that stint. You'll see every yellow people, the drivers come in down pit road just to top up. Sometimes even twice, Jai. That's how critical seconds are in that final stop, because, well, that's when the races start, especially in super speedways, Jai. That's the last, when you can get home, the shortest stop will win the race if, all going well.
Yeah, it's definitely right. And being at the super speedways, a lot of these guys are going to want it to run green, because if they can all get to pit road nice and easily and stay together on the exit and really form up quite quickly on the exit, get back into that draft train, they'll steam ahead and steam up front after the pit cycles as well. So a lot of these teams will definitely want it to go green and definitely want to hook up after those pit stops and make a real hard charge for this win here tonight.
Qualifying's in checkered state at the minute. We'll get the qualifying positions up, or finishing positions up when they load. But what a way to end a great series, Jai. And next season, we've already touched on it a couple of times, is going to be equally as great. But I think we worked out with Talladega last week, Daytona, and then the first three rounds into next season, all super speedways. So the back of this season, the start of next season, super speedway. So it's a good way to end and start a series. Actually, we do like super speedways. They're awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is a good way to start and finish the season. And with next season, it's round one, starting at Atlanta, which is the new super speedway in America. Essentially, it's run very much the same as a super speedway, so that's been added into the Skypoynt Triple Crown series as well. So going off to Atlanta for round one to start off, and then Talladega and Daytona to finish that first leg of the series.
As the guys load into the session, qualifying has been set. 80-lap race here at Daytona to kick off what has been a great series. Shout out to the admin, shout out to all the drivers, and of course shout out to our sponsors, Skypoynt, putting up the prize money and supporting the league. Can't do it without the sponsors. And, well, let's get it underway, because it's a long field of drivers. It'll take a little while to get through this grid, but the number 6 Skypoynt we're focusing on, Tom Pritchard on pole position, 51.808. He'll start alongside Peter Jones. Matt Patton and Greg Spence will have the second row. Nick Smith and Daniel Stevens will have the third. Nigel Patton, he's here again tonight. Hopefully he comes back for next season. He'll start alongside Denny Vassell. Bruns and Witcher will have the fifth row. Dave Douglas, series champion for Series 2. He'll line up on 11th next to Trent Gosley. They've been fierce contenders throughout the championship, those two, so watch them battle it out. Blackburn and Tyson McAvoy will have the 7th row rather. And Adam Malone will start alongside Raymond Yeager. Todd Maxfield, Colin Finland all the way from the US. Fenson, Michael Skurlock starting a little bit further back as well. Finlay, Nigel Seidel, Barber, Ryan Barber making an entry in here tonight. He'll start alongside Steve Hoffett for the 12th row of the grid. Aidan Schulz back there, Chris Tomlin, Mackenzie, Jordan. A couple of names up and down or further down the field, Jai, than what we'd expect. And 46 cars got into the server. We got Darren Robb in comments. He couldn't make tonight's race. Sit down and enjoy a good one, mate. This should be quite an entertaining race. Let's hope we make these guys think, and they've got to use their race brains, and hopefully we get some green pit stops, Jai. What do you reckon? Daytona, anything can happen. 80 laps for the grand finale.
Yeah, definitely anything can happen here tonight, and got stellar grid as we see on screen going down the back straight at the moment. But we do have quite a lot of cars starting from pit road, so they'll be able to link up quite quickly and not lose too much with the draft by themselves. There's 11 cars on my screen that are starting from pit road tonight.
Well, sometimes that's the smartest way. We've seen it time and time again, haven't we, Jai? Where, the start of the race, you just push a little bit too hard, and it's easy to say, you say it to yourself when you're doing exactly what these guys are now, pacing around, getting ready, you say to yourself, keep it clean, that's all right. The hammer drops you, and you're gone. And these guys are gone as well. He waits till the end of the Geico restart zone. Grand finale, Skypoynt NASCAR Truck C-Series is underway for the last time this season. No break into next season as these guys make their way around Daytona. Really good start again from Tom Pritchard.
Yeah, really shot out of the gate there, Tom. And we've got Nick Smith in the 900 truck following close behind, with Peter Jones running around the outside. But it's kind of been a bit left out to dry early on, as we've got about a four truck gap back to the next car in that second row. So look for this inside row to kind of surge forward as they've formed up a bit quicker than these outside.
Got a couple of trucks moving forward and back towards the field. All in all, looks like we're getting a good start. We're staying with that two-line astern, but and you can go two-line astern here quite comfortably, Jai, but you're still comfortable down in the yellow, aren't you? Because I think these guys now will start to move down. But how long before we see one single line of trucks, do you think? Or do you think they're happy to keep this second row? But at the minute, Peter Jones leads up the top on the front row. Tom Pritchard there, and watch these guys just click over laps now. But where do you reckon, Tom? Up high or down bottom, or both as equally as comfortable?
I think Tom's most comfortable down here on this yellow line, as we see Peter Jones surge forward from a big push from Justin Witcher on this outside line. But I think the bottom may be the place to go, as we just see a couple of trucks go underneath the yellow line there on the back straight. Just getting out of the bit of the messier stuff here up the front, but we've just seen Peter Jones go to the front and drop down straight in front of Tom Pritchard. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, and obviously the more comfortable line is that bottom line, and Peter Jones quite comfortable leading this one so far.
And I think around about, about 32 laps of fuel. We'll be looking at a window if we stay green, Jai, if I remember a look back from the other rounds. So what do you reckon? 3 stops will get you home, or 2 stops? Because it's only going to be fuel in it. So hopefully these guys can keep this up, and we see them come down pit road under green. But I think, is it 32 laps in a fuel stint, Jai?
I really testing my memory now, Pete, but yeah, I do believe it is around the 30 lap mark, but it will depend on if the portions are flown and where they kind of fall throughout the race. And we're probably going to look at about 3 to 4 pit stops minimum for these drivers, but only fuel. They might take tyres just at the end to get a better chance at a restart maybe, but it doesn't really make too much difference. So
we see there lap 4 of 80. no sign of dropping down to the bottom yet. They're all starting to look comfortable as they start to chew out some of these laps. Number 6 now right up underneath, and was starting to give him a big push in there. So bump drafting is a thing here, but you got to know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, Jai, then I'll have my hand up. I have no idea how to do it correctly. If you start to push someone when you don't know how to do it correctly, you can finish a lot of people's races, can't you? Because I think it's probably happened to you once or twice.
Yeah, it definitely has paid with a lot of people. I've spun across my nose, or I've been spun across others' nose. But yeah, definitely there's a big advantage in being able to kind of hit that bumper of the truck in front and really push them up forward. And these trucks don't really lock bumpers as per se very well. It's a very loose bump where you've got to keep steering into it. They don't lock up completely, so it's not like you're not steering at all going down the back straight like some cars do. But it's pretty key, as we just see just on that inside line, Tom Pritchard just dropping back a little bit through the corner. So you don't want to push in the corner, but you also want that bit of a run coming off to both ends of the racetrack at turn 2 and 4, getting that little bit of a run and giving that driver in front of you a bit of a shove. But you only see that in the top 2 trucks of each line. If you're not in the top 2, you don't really want to be pushing that truck in front of you up to the pushing car, and then that's when it can really go pear-shaped.
Yeah, and we know what happens when it goes pear-shaped. It's not just you. It's another probably 20 or 30 trucks. It happens so quickly here when you're on ovals. You've got to go left, you've got to go right, or if you get that decision wrong, you're into the wall. And Rob, he just put in his 5 cents as well, and welcome 5 cents into that bit. And don't push the pusher, guys. That's a big thing that some people, myself included, don't get right, because if you start pushing the pusher, same thing can happen. So that's all just only one element of driving ovals, Jai, that we've sort of covered. That's just the bump drafting sort of it. This is really hard, as we see the 13 of Jones just drop down, and we're going to see that too, Jai, aren't we? It's all about the fuel saving.
Yeah, we've already seen a couple of trucks drop down, just kind of heading to the back, not feeling as comfortable up the front. But just noticed Peter Jones actually did drop a fair way down onto the apron, kind of using that extra concrete runoff area off of 2. So maybe a little bit too far down and lost a little bit of time, but he'll be looking to get back up the track behind this little split train coming up the back and really drafting up with them at the moment. But I wonder if we can just jump on board while they are running too wide up the front, maybe with say Kay Donnelly in the 41 truck, and just see a driver's perspective of how close these trucks actually are running around here at Daytona.
Kay Donnelly's on the high line. He's got Greg Spencer right beside him, and when they get into these corners, what they want to be doing, Jai, and let's see if they're doing it, because they want to be side drafting, don't they, and getting up close and trying to slow the car, or parachute, I think is the wording we use in NASCAR. A little bit up in the air, not as much as I thought, Jai. There's big gaps in between the cars. I'm sure risk versus reward is sort of going on there, but side draft is another key to get a bit of speed on your competitor. Have a look at this from this view here, the 97 of Denny Vassell, middle finger racing, just holding that bottom line with his teammate Stevens in front.
Yeah, we've got 7 truck Daniel Stevens just in front of Danny Vassell there, running the low line. And I do believe they do have one more teammate right in front of him. So you just see these teams kind of lining up and really focusing on hooking up together and making their way forward as a team. So we do have the Pinnacle Esports team currently up the front, leading with Roman Gager. He's already up 15 positions, out of 16th on the grid, all the way up to first. And he was the last Pinnacle car on the grid as well. The other 4 Pinnacle cars we've got out here tonight actually all started within the top 10. So Raymond's really put in the hard work, hard yards early on, and made his way forward and to pick up the rest of his teammates. So look for those 5 cars to be really strong. We've also got a strong showing from the Sim Boys, the Middle Fingers, the Middle Splits, the Southern Stars, inside lane. We've got quite a few strong numbers in teams here tonight, which is all about super speedway racing and working together to make your way to the front.
Yeah, and I think I called that in last week's broadcast at Talladega, that especially towards the end of the race, it's like a colours game. You find your colours and you grab them, and by colours I mean, you know, obviously your teammate with the same livery on. So we can already see that now, and just touching on what you were saying, the teammates lining up. So this is what it's all about now. And remember also, it's you want to be around your teammates, because you want everyone to do well, but that's who you practice with all week, to have the speed, the race pace, so you know exactly how they're going to push you, and exactly what we were talking about before. There's an art to it. So, well, it's a colours game. They'll find their teammates, they'll push their way to the end, and ultimately, I think what I've been calling super speedway races like is, well, in an 80-lap race, 70 laps is the bidding war for the ticket as we go 3 wide, and that third row's starting to push up. I don't think it will last. I think it's a little bit too early for that, but still win the auction, the bidding war for that ticket, because if you're there at the end on that lead lap, well, you can be coming 15th and still win the race.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We've got quite a strong showing from Pinnacle on that bottom line. All 4, like there's 4 cars in a row there with Tom Pritchard from Skypoynt Racing in the middle of that. But we just had Trent Gosley jump to the outside, right against Justin Witcher and Tom Pritchard, and he had a big run on that outside line coming up to give him a hand as well from Shannon Blackburn in the triple twos. So look for this outside line maybe just to form up a little bit better and make a push, and we'll see that that lead car, once they get to the front, if they elect to drop down, as we've seen every time that outside lane has had a run, that lead car has kind of left them hung out to dry, dropped down right to the bottom, and then they've got to really form all the way back up and go for another push as well.
And that's another reason why you want to be with your mate as well, is because generally you're in Discord with him. So you really need communication is key, isn't it, Jai, in super speedways, especially when there's crashes. We've got a Southern Stars car. I think that's Ryan Barber, just about ready to go a lap down. I did see there was an incident in the list there, Jai. So we might be able to go have a replay and see what happened. But lap down, well, we've stayed green, although it's not the end of the world. It's probably not what you want, as he just goes, I think he just went into the wall live there. We're on a replay here, just maybe a little bit of a helping hand, and well, that's what happened to him earlier on. Strange we didn't get a caution out of that, Jai. So as we're under caution now, so I was right. So there was I think Ryan Barber, when he went up into the wall, I do believe, I think as we went to that replay, John, I'm not too sure if you caught that.
Yeah, no, it was just as we started to transition to the replay, Ryan was sitting right up on that third row, right up against the wall, just staying out of everyone's way as that lead pack was coming past, and that second car on the outside, actually, I'm not sure if it was just a lack of vision, but went a little bit high on entry and just gave it a bit of tap and got Ryan a bit sideways there, and that kind of started a bigger fall back down the back. As we just check out the instant replay here, we've got a couple of trucks involved, and everyone doing quite well to the majority of the drivers here tonight to get through. But I did believe there was a slight tap as the lead pack just caught up to Ryan there and got him a little bit out of shape, and then made, of course, a check up throughout the field.
Let's have another look from Chopper Cam. First caution of the night. Let's hope we can, it will be the only one, but, well, you never know. It's a guessing game, really, isn't it, Super Speedway? But we'll have a look when the yellow flag come out and up in the air and Chopper Cam, and we'll have a look. Oof. There was a bit of a tap there by a couple of cars. Actually, this view shows a little bit better too, because I just thought there was two or three cars involved in that Jai, but no, there was probably about 5. As we'll go back live and we'll pick up the pace truck, and I do believe if Superspeedways plays out, we'll be looking at a lot of cars down pit road, and 4 wide in fact.
Yeah, it's looking very busy down pit road as every driver in the top 25 so far has entered pit road. Top 30 now. I think it's time for everyone to come down at pit road and just top up with fuel and kind of just get a service, feel where the truck is, and that all-important race off pit road as we saw 4 wide on the entry. It's going to be a pretty busy race off as well, I believe.
You just see there the number 6 Skypoynt just lagging out of pit road there. I think he's just putting the race into perspective, really, isn't he? Trying to pick up his mates again, but well, you could probably say the whole field, and as expected, has come into green under caution. 16 laps. That was a handy green run, and well, we're going to form back up 2 abreast and do it all again. But effective leader Justin Witcher, we've got him on screen now as he picks up that pace truck, and well, I think there was only 1 truck off the lead lap then, Jai, so I'm pretty sure Ryan Barber, if he's still out on track, will have Lucky Dog.
Yeah, so it was only Ryan that was scored 1 lap down, and he'd only just gone 1 lap down, as we did see in the replay. So Ryan's already taken that lucky dog, so we'll just see him just come in pit entry now. He'll come down pit road, get a full tank of fuel, and be able to lead pit road without going back down that lap. So he will be back on the lead lap on this restart. So we've only got, I believe, 1 driver. I could be wrong, but 1 driver that hasn't actually taken the green flag of this race, but we do have 45 drivers still in at the moment, and at this point they are all still on the lead lap, so we'll just have to see if any damages takes a little bit longer to repair, and a few drivers may go a lap down here, but we will still have at least 42 drivers on the lead lap for this restart.
That's what we want. Lots of drivers on the lead lap. No fast repairs either for this league as well. You bin it, you're out, or you do the repairs, and well, Superspeedway is probably one type of oval racing where you can really leave it till that last minute to pull the pin if you're just having a bad day. Because you can make up time, because you don't know, caution after caution after caution sometimes. Not only on iRacing, but in real life as well. So you can really wait to the last minute before you throw your hands in the air, can't you, Jai? Because anything can happen here, and we've seen it before. Raymond Yeager up 13 positions, one of the biggest movers in here tonight, although Maxi Marshall up 28.
Yeah, definitely anything can happen, and it's definitely not over until that final checker flag is waved. So as mentioned kind of at the top of the broadcast, it's a good thing about oval racing. If you take the green flag to start the race, it's pretty much an equal chance for all these drivers to be able to come out on top at the end of it. So yeah, this first 70 odd laps is that ticket to the final 10, and kind of vying for a place and where you're going to start that final 10 laps and a charge home, a strong charge home at the end of it. So they'll be kind of just looking. It's been quite well behaved at the moment, a lot of gaps between the cars and not as much pushing, letting off in the corners as well. So all these drivers look like they're quite happy just to settle in at the moment, cut around and do quite a few laps and kind of just make sure they've got a ticket in their pocket for those final 10 laps.
Well, that was a quick caution period. We're back under green here after the first restart. Justin Witcher, he didn't give us no time wasted. He went straight away in the Geico restart zone. Tom Pritchard went with him, Gosley, and we're under green again. There's the top 6 trucks really got a jump on the rest of the field, not by much though. The 16 machine, he's pushing on. That's talking Maxfield, and a little bit further back, it's been green. Or clean rather, all the way back. Middle split is the yellow and black trucks rather. They've started clean again, and watch for that team to move up as Nick Smith has got a big run out of, I think, what's that, 3 and 4. But good restart again. Good showing. Jason Holdsworth, I didn't notice, was in the on the grid as well, but Nitro Racing, definitely that team, and that's one of many to watch to push up through this field. But another good restart, Jai, and we're back underway here at Daytona.
Yeah, it was a very tidy restart. Just 4 of these Pinnacle trucks lining up on the restart straight away on that inside lane. And we've also got 3 middle finger racing trucks right behind the Pinnacle on the inside lane as well. So that's 2 teams all lined up with Pritchard out front as well. So this high line's just looking a bit racy here at the moment as Shannon Blackburn in the 222 just edges out with a big push by... That's Cade Donnelly on that high line in that second position on the high line. So, yeah, a few people pushing up and really making use of these runs and really getting it to their advantage as they get the big runs and not kind of letting them go to waste, but in the same time doing it very safely.
What I've noticed as well is next season, I've had a peek at the entries for next season, and the amount of teammates that are supporting each other, and they've come in their droves. I think we've got about 8 Sim Boys in, about 5 or 6 Pinnacle. I think we've got about the same in the Southern Stars as well, and I think the Middle Split and Middle Finger Boys and girls are coming back. So teams and Superspeedways, like I said, 5 in a row, and that's where you need the team. So what we're going to see for the next few weeks. No rest for the wicked either, Jai, where or you'll go from the com box to the driver's seat this time next week, and it'll be a whole new series. And have a look at that. That now is a demonstration of what we were saying earlier of the colours. If I can zoom out a little bit, have a look at that. It's almost it's colour coordinated, aren't they? These packs, as I'll run through on this view.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it just goes to the old saying that you've got strength in numbers, and that definitely reflects well on the super speedways. You want your draft buddies, and these it's not too bad of a thing for the single car teams and like just the single drivers out here tonight. There's quite a few of them, so look for them to pair up as well and kind of make just an alliance to work together and kind of take it to those bigger teams here tonight as well.
Yeah, well, you don't need to be in a team to work in with someone. You're dead right with that. If you're a privateer and just running by yourself, as we've got 110, I think. I know that number, but I'll have a look through. The 110 machine just going up high. He's dropping back. That's going to make him a lap down as well. So we've just come off green as we see another truck just pull back. So strategy coming in for a couple of them drivers. I think that's... not too sure who that car was. Chris Tomlin. Have we had an incident that we haven't known about? But a lot of cars going a lap down just after this restart. I think I've counted 3 now, Jai.
Yeah, so it may have been just a bit of damage, repairs happening in pit lane, and they've missed the restart or gone a couple of laps down there, or they've just dropped off the back of the pack and dropped out of that draft with their damage as well. So we still do have 38 trucks on the lead lap. We've got Crystal Finlay and Steve Hoppett down 1, Reese May, Henry Fenton down 2. Brian Barber, the lucky dog candidate in that first caution, has now dropped down 4 laps, so he must have had a bit of damage to repair. Christopher Tomlin down 5, Aidan Schultz down 6. So a few cars a lap down, but they'll still be fighting quite hard to be in that lucky dog position if another caution does come out. So again, it's not over till it's over.
As we see now, we're going to look to go 3 wide at the front. No, they pull out of it. That's I think that's Shannon Blackburn. Just thought he was going to run a little bit high there. Stays out of it. Sim Boys lead the front row. And the teammates, they keep pushing on. 24 of 80. Let's crank it up and let's listen to these NASCAR trucks here at Daytona. Grand finale, round number 16 of 16, season 2. Let's crank it up. These guys are doing well. 24 of 80, still plenty of racing. How good do them trucks sound in a group of cars? Lap 26 of 80, grand finale, Skypoint NASCAR Truck Series. Maxfield, Donnelly, Turner, Blackburn, Pritchard, Davison, Yeager, Ford, Nigel, Pattinger 10. Bottom line working in well. We got 5 up the top going too deep and a couple in the mid pack. But the low line is definitely where you want to be. Look at that yellow and ride your way to the end, Jai.
Yeah, definitely do sound great, but just as we've come back, I've just noticed a car going very slowly on the apron of turn 3 and 4. So first I thought that might have been getting out of the way, but we might have a blown motor. So we'll see have to see if that truck can get back to pit lane or another caution that might be coming out quite soon.
I think that was Christopher Tomlin, the 212. I just noticed he did enter pit lane there. I'll try and have a look as we go around and try and pick it up, Jai, but it looks like we're green as it is, but I did get a event happen that 212 entered the pit lane, so they could have been, excuse me, that slower car that you may have seen. We'll see if we can pick him up if he hasn't already made it around the pit lane, but I think that truck has, so looks to see that we're going to stay yellow here, green, not yellow, we're staying green here, and led by the 41 truck. And now I think, Joe, the guys are starting to look at how long is this going to go green and when do we need a pit. Remember, the guys come down pit road only around about 13 laps to go, so we're around about, if we stay green, another 17 laps before we need to come in again, and that'll bring it up to, what's that, around about 45, quick math, lap 45, and by that, Jai, you cannot get home. So 2 stops from here, I think, if we stay green.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like 2 stops, but caution laps will help as well if we do go under caution. So just still running too wide here at the moment. So we got that second car turn on the top line, just making in and out a little bit here and there, but a good example here is from the Sim Boys. Cade Donnelly up the front with Todd Maxfield up the front of that second row. That's another way that these teams could work together at the moment, is leading both lanes and not allowing any other driver to really take control of the race at this point. So the teamwork doesn't have to be in between and working together. It can also be side by side and kind of just taking lead and taking charge of both lines here tonight.
Well, if that's not a statement, I don't know what is. This is controlling the race at its best. And well picked up, mate, because I didn't see that. Donnelly and Maxfield, both Sim Boys. I tell you, there's a big showing of Sim Boys this season and the next season. And this is what they do, and do very well. They know the situation of the race. We got 50 laps to go. They know that they're burning fuel out front, but they've probably got about another 3 of their blokes that are down in that pack saving fuel, Jai. So I think this is a big ploy from these guys. And remember, the King of Daytona is still up for grabs. So that crown is still sitting on the shelf, ready to be handed out to someone. Although the series has already been taken by Dave Douglas, the Daytona crown is still up for grabs, and that's probably why you see these guys now so hungry to win this race, Jai. Lap 30 of 80. These guys by no means are running flat foot at the minute, I don't think, Jai, because these trucks, although they're moving, I don't think they're totally up to speed. Let's have a look. 296, okay, they are. But they're moving all right.
Yeah, they definitely are in this big draft pack here. So Sim Boys are definitely looking the strongest out of the lead pack cars. We've still got those 3 Pinnacle cars in the white, the dominant white liveries there up the front, but Cade Donnelly still leading that bottom line, getting pushed by Shannon Blackburn. And we've got Todd Maxfield still up the top, getting pushed by Kai Turner. But Troy Davison in that red Sim Boy truck just behind Kai Turner. And if you look 2 more behind that red truck, we see the green truck of Gary Wellman in 12th place. So that's 4 Sim Boys in the top 12, looking quite strong, and they're not by too much. As 2 trucks just getting together, they go 3 wide. It looks like he catches it a little bit, gets a bit of a checkup, but yeah, that was definitely close to going under yellow there.
Oh, who was that? Was that Noddy? No, it wasn't Noddy. It was Dwayne. No, it's an out of sequence car too. So that's the 96. laps, I think, by the look of that. I'll have a look through the timing there, Jai. Oh, that was close. That was really close to being back under caution again. And talk about close. What wasn't close, and they couldn't save it, it's a couple of drivers in the green room. We'll bring Junior in into the broadcast. First one out of this race, Junior, I tell you, it looks tough out there. How do you feel in the first few laps?
A bit panicked. You know, Dad's off the concert, so I decided to jump in his rig, have a bit of a race. But you know, I'm familiar with VR, haven't been in it for a while. But yeah, just wasn't as familiar as I should be.
No, don't beat yourself up too much, mate. Look at the guys that are out here driving. They've driven this season, you know, flawlessly, and it's still on the line here at Daytona, Ryan. But it must have. Did you start from pit lane, or did you start on the grid? Because I just want to know. Because if you did start on the grid, that must have been quite a sight and quite a feeling to get off the line with around about 40 other trucks.
Oh, all the Skypoynt on the Stars team decided that they were going to start from the pit lane, apart from Tom. We can see him out on track at the moment, third, holding his own, doing a good job, but decided to start from the pit lane. Quite a few people did as well. There was about 10 people in the pit lane before the race start, and we just kind of tried to run our own train and start to catch a lead pack, and we were catching them until good old Junior was facing the wrong way.
Mate, no, unfortunate you're out earlier on, but, well, what's the aim, roughly, without giving strategy away, what's sort of the aim coming into this round for the Skypoynt Southern Stars outfit?
Well, we know that Tom likes to set up the front, so he's kind of holding his own there, just trying to stay with the lead pack, and seems like the rest of the other people decided to play the end game, play the longer run. We know naturally at Daytona that we'll have cautions. We've had one tonight. But I'm amazed that we haven't had any more than that. We're nearly halfway through, so definitely something can happen. But yeah, playing the long strategy, be there at the end to have a fighting chance at the end. That's what we usually prompt to play.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about too. Buy your ticket to the end. As I flick through a little bit further back in the pack, Jai, I'm sure there's a couple of questions that you'd like to ask, because I suppose all in the research gathering for your next season at the sea.
Yeah, no, it was definitely sad to see you out this early, Junior, and with the hard work that you've put in over the last 2 weeks, especially to get your iRacing license up high enough to join Season 3. Are you still looking forward to Season 3, and is there anything that happened tonight that you can kind of take forward into Season 3 next week?
Yeah, of course, I'm pretty excited for next season running with the Skypoynt kind of livery, so that gives me an opportunity to have a good run in a good car. But yeah, I've worked pretty hard to get my license up, finally got to be, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to the season. But there's always things that I can do better in the officials, at the start, and well, league racing is a whole different aspect of iRacing in general. So probably round 1 next season, or the first Superspeedway next season, I'd probably rather go for a start on the grid kind of thing. But I know that throughout next season I'll try different things to improve as a driver as a whole.
It's definitely looking forward to Season 3 myself as well, and every oval racer kind of favours between one or the other, super speedways or the 1.5 mile style tracks. What do you like a bit better than the other?
Well, they're both completely different things. Super speedway, tyre wear is pretty much gone, whereas the 1.5 mile you have a bit more strategy that goes into it. But super speedways is pretty addicting, as well as the 1.5 mile. But you know, Skypoynt Truck Series usually run super speedways, and I'm pretty keen for that one, especially because I'm not too used to running the super speedways. But at the moment, I don't really have too much of a preference.
That's all right, Junior. We've got Todd Maxfield and Kai Turner leading this race. If you could put your money on anyone to take this one out here tonight with 42 laps to go, who do you reckon looks strong as we just see those top three in that inside lane hit pit road?
Bit hard. We have quite quick drivers in the league. Dave Douglas is one of them. Tom Pritchard is one of them. But there's, anything can happen. Super Speedways is pretty unpredictable. Like one wrong move that one of the drivers make can cause quite a big crash and get everyone out. But I reckon I could possibly put it on Tom Pritchard. He doesn't really have his teammates up there working with him, but it doesn't seem like a lot of the top guys really have teammates as well. So Tom naturally does really well with the super speedways. He got pole tonight, but we're under caution, so that's definitely going to throw some more kind of strategy into it. We're just about halfway through. Second caution of the night, pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely going to throw a spanner in the works here. As we just saw the previous lap, the top three, at least on the inside line, did hit pit road. So we're in the middle of a pit cycle at the moment the caution came out. So hopefully these drivers are kind of up to it. And as soon as that yellow came out, they've tipped the clutch, turned the truck off, and they've still got enough fuel to make it back to pit road as we check out the Skypoynt replay. Just what may have happened to bring out this yellow flag as we see the top 6 cars side by side going through 3 and 4.
Yeah, I've just picked up when it went yellow. I'm not too sure if we're going to see it in this replay, but I just come back and we're under caution, so nothing's really come up on my timing at the minute. I'll keep looking though, Jai, but did you see anything untoward at the start, or sorry, as we went yellow?
No, it still looked pretty clean as we were focusing on that lead battle then, but just on that end of the replay, there was a Skypoint and I believe inside lane production, inside lane sim sports truck just going slow on the apron. So I'm not sure if they've done that after the yellow was flown, or if that may have been something to do with it. But definitely a bit confused with that one there.
Yeah, also keep looking throughout, as we've got a really busy pit road as expected. We said that at the top of the broadcast that, well, as soon as it goes yellow, you go in. I do believe, Jai, we will still need to pit one more time to be able to get home, because, well, you're not going to get 39 laps out of a tank of fuel. So a splash and dash at a yellow, as we see the 19 truck was just overrun his pit bay. Let's have a look if this one was what went yellow. Henry Fenson is what I'm picking up.
As we just check the Skypoint replay again, Fenson in the 110 truck, just hitting the apron on the entry to turn 3 there, all by himself, and just cranked loose as he was straddling that yellow line to mark the edge of the banking here at Daytona. So, bit of a spin. I'm not sure if that is the reason the caution came out. It didn't quite spin around too far on the angle side of things, but definitely getting loose and definitely taking that truck back to pit road, as we do have the green lights, and looked a bit quick coming back down pit road there for a second.
Did look a bit quick. I wonder if he's going to pull the pin. I'm not too sure. Maybe he's got a hardware failure or something. The lights are still on in the pace truck. And how well have these sim boys really started to dominate when we go green again after the strategy? They must have stayed out, Jai. 4 sim boys up the front. They're going to have the first 2 rows now, really controlling this race.
Yeah, definitely a good strategy call, and being how long it takes to get around Daytona. These 4 trucks at the front of the field, off 5 trucks, my apologies, 5 trucks, including Shannon Blackburn there in the 5th position. They actually hit pit. They were the trucks that actually hit pit road the lap before the caution came out. So they funneled through pit road, got the service back out on the track, and they've actually edged all the way up to the front. So we're going to have 4 sim boys in the first 4 positions with Shannon Blackburn on the same strategy, and then everyone else chasing behind. But there are only 2 laps better on fuel, the cars behind. So we're looking at the sim boys at the moment being around 8 to 9 laps short on fuel, where the rest of the field is about the 6 to 7 laps short mark. So couple of cautions and they'll be able to make it home. But if we get some more green flag running like we have seen the majority of tonight, it's going to be a bit closer, or a bit of a fuel mileage game, bit of splash and dashes at the end.
And just talking about the laps to go, or the fuel rather needed to get home. I remember we were talking on Sunday with the Bathurst 1000 that each lap that you go around, especially Mount Panorama in a supercar, you save, or every 2 laps you do under yellow, you save 1 lap of fuel. Is that the case here at Daytona, you think?
Yes and no. Saving fuel in a supercar, it's a lot of clutch in or early lifting and things like that, where at Daytona being a full throttle track, or if you're in the draft, you're only sitting about 70%, which is obviously saving you fuel. But the biggest way to save fuel under caution is actually shutting the truck off. So just shifting it into neutral, clutch in, and then hitting that ignition button that you have set up, and really shutting the truck and the motor off, as we just said, to pace car, go back to pit lane. But you're actually shutting it off and then refiring it and not burning the fuel as the engine's actually still running. But yeah, let's have a look at these sim boys as they take off with this restart. Got 4 positions, and they've actually got a little bit of a jump on the rest of the field here.
Well, that's the beauty of having your teammates up in front. They would have counted each other down. You've got 4 sim boys controlling this field at the minute. And you've got Shannon Blackburn going with them as well. Kai Turner wants to latch on top, and here we go. So the draft is working high line. Will they stay out there? They've only got 3 trucks out there. Looks like the rest of the field has dropped down. Another nice clean restart. Now, a little bit further back, you've got Raymond Yeager working in with, I think that might be Luke Kenny. And yeah, well, the high line now, as Blackburn just comes up on the 6, I think that's Pritchard. And Ryan, we've still got you in here, mate. Tom Pritchard, the 6 machine. He is one driver that has got a 6th sense in Superspeedways, doesn't he? When he thinks the shit's going to hit the fan, he gets out of there, and well, he'd be one to want to follow in these pressure situations where everyone's close together after a restart.
Yeah, that's right. And usually, towards the front of the pack, it's usually, in my opinion, it's a bit cleaner than it is towards the back, because if someone crashes at the front or the middle, then the guys at the back have more risk. But naturally, what Tom's really good at as a driver as a whole is when it gets a bit too much, or he has like a really big gut feeling that there's going to be a wreck, you'll see him just drop off to the apron, drop to the back of the field, and then he'll usually there would be some sort of accident at the front there that he would get from that feeling. But Tom was running up near the front. He still is, but you can see that
as we watch some of these trucks now link up, and it's Daytona, so well, the high line seems to be working. And why would you drop down, Jai, if you got 4 of your teammates, you might as well say, controlling this field, and there's nowhere to go, although you can go 3 wide here at Daytona, but lap 45 of 80, well, that's just probably stupidity, I think. What do you reckon, Jai? These guys behind, although they might be in the getting the run, wanting to take it to the sim boys at this point of the race, it's just not it's not safe enough to go 3 wide yet.
Yeah, it's definitely too early to go 3 wide, and all these drivers actually sitting behind the sim boys duos at the moment are actually saving fuel over the sim boys, and they're already a bit better than the sim boys overall. All 4 of those cars up front to hit pit road under green before that last caution, so it's pretty comfortable to sit. And you touched on before, Pete, the fact that your teammates are the ones that you've really been practicing around all week long, and the ones you know best. And we are around 16 of 16 in Series 2 here tonight, so a lot of these drivers have been around each other all season long. So as we just saw Tom Pritchard get run up the track a little bit, got that feeling in his gut that something might happen here. So you saw him drop back, kind of find a gap on that inside line, and then drop under the apron down the back straight. So he's actually gone back a little bit, but we see Colin Finland just up in front of Tom now in the second Skypoynt truck there tonight. So yeah, Tom dropped back out of that kind of top 5 positions, and he's elected just to get out of the bit of a kerfuffle up the front that may happen, and drop back and find his teammates and kind of just work with them and see where they can get to.
10 points for getting that in there. Colin Finland, Adam Malone, Kobe Jordan, they all work together with Tom Pritchard. So it's a mate, a search party for your mate at the minute, lap 47 of 80. Up the front, though, still controlled by the Sim Boys. Aaron Dillon's in the comments as well, mate. I tell you, I think you'll join. I think I've seen your name on the list for next season. Is this a plan from the Sim Boys, 100% to control this race? Because I don't know what else to call it at the minute, because that's exactly what they're doing. And Jai, if they wanted to send it 3 wide, there's really no room, because they're staying clear of each other because they know the side draft. Well, when you got your teammates beside you, can be detrimental. So even if these guys wanted to send it 3 wide, have a look. There's no room. So at the minute, these Sim Boys, and we talked about them a lot, but I haven't really seen this much in NASCAR, but it's definitely something that's going to pay off in the long run, because controlling the field, doing a perfect job of it.
Yeah, definitely are doing a really, really good job of this, and it's not too bad when you've got all 4 of those Sim Boys trucks up the front. Yes, those 2 of Troy Davison and Gary Wellman that are leading both top and bottom lanes at the moment will be using a little bit more fuel, but they'll all 4 come at the same time to get the second green flag pit stops, which will mean all 4 can line up quite quickly, get back on the gas and get in a position where they are still up front leading. And you touched on, you can go 3 wide at this track, but if you've got 4 Sim Boy trucks up the front, if 3 of them are going 3 wide, there's no way past them. So they're in a very good position, and a very good controlling position of this race, and they're really setting the tone up for the last 30 laps that we have here tonight.
Yeah, 30 laps to go. We're just encroaching into that magic number where we can get home, and it would probably be around about now, I think. Well, you can get home if you pit now, Jai, I do believe. So what would you do here? You would obviously wait for a caution, wouldn't you, and run out your tank?
Daytona is a little bit different, because when you do make a green flag pit stop here at Daytona, you don't actually go a lap down, as long as you don't receive a penalty for speeding or an unsafe entry or exit. So yeah, it's a bit different here at Daytona, and you can definitely get them, as we just see a couple of cars shooting across the grass here. That maybe Nigel Seidel in the 69 truck, but just clips at cone, but definitely a good catch by Nigel to hang on to that one across the grass, as we just quickly have a look at the Skypoynt replay.
He gets a little bit of a bump there. So there was a bump between 2 cars. That car that was missed the number, he actually went up into the wall on the approach on that corner, and we just see Seidel just take a shortcut and get back on the track, and no doubt he would have got a big slowdown there.
Yeah, wouldn't have got a slowdown, but lost a lot of time, and he'll be looking just to get back into that draft of at least someone to get back up to speed. But definitely good catches. When he did get that bump and sent across the apron, he actually came from the top lane. So hats off to him for catching that truck, and as well as all these other drivers for actually avoiding that. But just quickly touching on the Sim Boys kind of strategy up here at the front. Green flag pit stops, yep, you don't go a lap down here at Daytona. So if they link up and a caution does come out, they may funnel back to the front. But if we get a couple of cautions, maybe 2 or 3 more, which is looking quite low probability as this race goes on, then everyone would make it on fuel anyway, and so it's all about track position. So we'll go both ways, but that's a bit of a gamble of what is over racing, and especially the Superspeedway side of it.
And it'll be pretty evident when these Sim Boys want to come in as well too, because, well, you've got 2 up the high, 2 up down the bottom, so you can't get to pit road from the top. So it'll be quite evident when those guys want to pit. they'll make room for each other, and then they'll be four down the bottom row and the bottom lane, and then they'll make their way in the pit. But a little bit of movement up the front now. Just, I don't know, Jai, I think the guys behind are probably giving them a little bit of a hurry on now, saying, "Come on, boys, you've got enough limelight."
Yeah, definitely right, and it's definitely more encouraging to push your truck a little bit quicker, as we just see him just funneling around that outside lapped car at the moment. But especially when you see four teammates in front of you, and you can try and nothing's working to get past, that little fire that you've got, and the motivation to get to the front of this pack just grows and grows, and get past that kind of roadblock as they're forming it. But definitely a strong showing, and definitely probably the best teamwork I've seen in a super speedway race in quite a long time.
Darren McKenzie just has a little bit of an error there. Remember the king of Talladega was Darren McKenzie, having a little bit of a struggle here at Daytona as he travels underneath the yellow. Watch for the 02 Southern Stars entry to pull down pit road this time. Just into the wall a little bit as he was trying to move back. Something obviously happened a little bit before. Joe, it'd be good to get a chat with him maybe after the race or something to see what went on there. But still, 4 rows of Sim Boys and Kai Turner, Jaeger, Kenny, Spencer. Have a look at Luke Kenny as well. He done well in the NASCAR, the Cup Open Series. Spit it out, Pete. I think he got a podium there as well. That was a recruitment race. Up 28 positions, 27 as he drops down just in front of Middle Finger Racing Boys. And he's only new to iRacing, only new to oval racing as well. And be a good lesson to learn sitting in between these guys. And he's got Tompkins and Blackburn, Priest and Spencer around him, so he's in good company.
Yeah, definitely. He's just around a lot of quick drivers, and he's I do believe he joined us halfway through the season, but every time he has joined the track, he's just been getting better and better and better. So I do believe he was going to be one to watch next season, running the entire season. He'll be in quite strong contention, especially at these super speedways. He seems to be able to work the draft and the runs, and kind of takes the most advantage using those runs and using the draft and the cars around him to really make his way up to the front quite quickly. So if he's around the back and he kind of decides, all right, yep, it's go time now, I need to get to the front and start moving forward, it doesn't seem to take Luke Kenny long. So he's definitely got a handle on this truck around the super speedway.
And remember, coming off a couple of weeks suspension for driving infringement earlier on, and that was just to do with inexperience. He's really starting to push back and show, well, I can do this, boys, as we go yellow. Jordan was involved in that. Jason Holdsworth was involved in that. Glenn Klein was involved in that. 24 laps to go. We can get home, Jai. Will we see people pit and get home, or will you see those guys that pit on lap 40 stay out? I do think we're going to have 100% of the field down pit road, apart from obviously the driver that needs to stay out for the lucky dog. But I think we're going to see a full field down pit road.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a bit of a flip of the coin, I do believe, with this caution. As we've said all season, cautions do breed cautions, and that has happened in some rounds. Other rounds we've had running all race long like we have tonight, and long green flag runs. But I do believe in that last caution when everyone hit pit road, other than these 4 sim boys that stopped 2 laps earlier under the green flag, if they get 1 or 2 more cautions, they might be able to make it home on fuel. So we'll have to see if a few drivers elect to stay out and kind of take that gamble of more cautions and making it home from here without the extra stop.
Let's have a look what happened. Maxi Marshall up into the wall. He got a bit of helping hand. He sends him back up into him. Couple of, I think Adsy Tom gets through there. We're going to go back live and get some onboards with Tom with that. Good bit of driving only just gets through. I think Adam alone was one of the drivers caught up in that as well. A couple of big contenders. No, that was Colin. Steve was involved in that. Tom, he went off track, but he went through. Let's go back, have a look at Tom Pritchard's onboard, Jai, because, well, I think this is close.
It definitely was close, as we see Tom just coming up to the tri-wall here. And we just see the cars getting in together up the front, just on the right side of that center mirror. Cars going everywhere. There's a couple of cars already on the grass. Look at the steering movement though. Nice, smooth, still precision. Just deciding where to go. Drops down on the apron quite smoothly. No big rough bounce. And then the big hard left-hand turn to avoid the 080 there. And does quite well. Goes across the grass, but that's alright. That's just a little off track, but still a clean car. And then another big hard turn to the left to avoid another truck through the grass. But all that right there as he rejoins the track, going on the racetrack side of that green cone, is the difference between no penalty and a massive penalty. Because if you hit that cone or go on the left side of that cone, you'll actually get an unsafe pit exit penalty and an excessive speeding penalty through iRacing, as it's registered you on pit road. So that was very heads up driving and centimetre perfect to come out there unscathed.
Yeah, well picked up too. I was just about to mention that. He was only probably about a car width to the right of that blue cone, and you're dead right there. That would have been a that would have been, you know, maybe a lap, maybe 2 laps down, because remember, he would have had to serve that under green conditions, Jai. So, good bit of driving from a lot of people there, but a couple of drivers just caught out there, but hopefully we don't lose too many of them. As it stands at the minute, Jai, lap 58 with 22 to go, we have 34 trucks on the lead lap. 32 trucks on the lead lap, I think.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's been, no one's really dropped off the draft either, as we see at the super speedways happen. If you just get that just enough behind the truck in front and get out of that draft kind of zone, you can lose a lot of time, anywhere up to about 5 seconds in a lap. So it's really good to see this amount of trucks really battling in a pack, but only our second portion, I do believe, tonight. But we've still got those 4 Simboy trucks up the front, as everyone elected to hit pit lane, and no one decided to take a gamble. So all on the same strategy and all good to go all the way home on fuel.
Well, that is what we want to see here. We've seen something very, very similar last week at Talladega. This week we're at Daytona. The crown of Daytona is still up for grabs, and we're seeing it again. Everyone on the same pit strategy. Everyone can get home, all but a couple. The names out in front. Can we see a 4-wide finish for the Simboys if they can hold on for another 21 laps? I think there's a whole field of drivers that would probably, to be quite fair, Jai, probably sick of seeing the back end of these Simboys cars. So as soon as it gets to, well, hammer time, you watch these guys start to really push these Sim boys along, because, well, if you've sat for 58 laps, or the good part of, behind one team, you're starting to get a little bit itchy now, aren't you, Jai? If you're probably Raymond Yeager or Kai Turner. Kai Turner's been in there the whole race.
Yeah, it definitely starts to get a bit itchy with it and a bit more prominent, but definitely turns it up at the end of the Skypoynt truck E-Series races as well. So we just see them take green, but no one has to save fuel to get to the end now. So we'll see a lot more runs taken if they get the run. They're not going to just lift and sit back, as we see Kai Turner and Raymond Yeager actually swap lanes just after the restart. So Kai Turner dropped to the low line, Raymond went up high, and he's actually picked up his teammate Greg Spencer up the top of the lane there as well. So these teams to really start forming up quite quickly here and get the run and try and take some seconds up front.
Yeah, and that's all I think what we're waiting for now, and I've just felt it. I was saying it all on Sunday as well, the same thing. I've just felt the intensity of this race start to heat up a little bit. We're 2 wide just after a restart. 20 laps to go. Everyone on the same strategy. You've got 30 trucks that could still win this one. How good's it been? This is the grand finale we wanted for the Skypoynt NASCAR Truck E-Series. Remember, Season 3 registrations are open. Don't forget to go to Skypoint. SkypointRacing.com. We got a big one. We got a big one. We had to wait to the lap with 19 to go before we got the big one, but Jai, wow, you've seen a little bit more than that because I was flapping me gums. What went on? Few drivers, big contenders taken out of that.
I just caught it in the corner of my eye on the right-hand side of the screen. The 7th truck, so the 4th row back, as we were 2 wide up front. Just saw the bonnet take a hard right, so I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it looks like there may have been a couple of trucks getting hooked up and one firing on to the outside of the fence. But yeah, it was about the 4th truck back on the inside, I do believe.
That's the last three.
Just went up.
My bad. That's the last one. Sorry, sorry, Joy. Let's have a look. Steve Hoppert was involved in this again. Okay, I've got the right one now. Let's have a look. Oh, we got... Oh. So it was that one actually, Jai. So Maxi Marshall...
No, I think that's still the same incident because there's Tom Pritchard just scooting across the grass and staying above that cone again.
3rd time lucky. What do you reckon? Oh, it's all written in front of me. I just got to press the buttons. And we've been here for a whole season. Still struggling. Can't say it's my first day on the job. I've done a few days. Adam Malone, I think, was this one. Let's have a look. 3rd time lucky. Did I get it this time, Jai? Oh, who was that?
I do believe that may have been Noddy Tompkins with the red-nosed yellow truck there that was flipping up in the air. So, do believe that was the 119.
Let's go back and have a look, and let's slow it down, and let's see if we can get this. Let's get who this was. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it was definitely Noddy Tompkins up that top of the screen there, just in the camera before I saw it slowly rotating up towards that outside wall. But definitely,
we got
definitely
some air.
went for a,
Jesus.
Yeah, definitely went for a decent ride in front of Barney the flagman there at the start finish line, and then all these trucks just kind of having nowhere to go and check up and maybe making a little bit of contact there. But yeah, just in that before that high up shot, the camera before that, I did see Noddy Tompkins just get slightly starting to rotate to the right.
Let's have a look. Let's go high in the air. I've slowed it down. Noddy Tompkins. Oh, he gets, I think, turned up into the wall. Let's jump on board. Oh, I'd like to get another look at this full blown. Oh, mate, you wouldn't want to be in VR. Oh, he's got some air. He's got some air. We'll speed that up for everyone at home. Well, puke warning. Is all I've got to say about that. To the viewers for this next one, but let's have a look. Full speed, Noddy Tompkins. Play, Pete. There we go. His engine's gone. I don't think that's his worry. Oh, does he land on his feet? Oh, he's like a cat. Lands on all fours, Jai. Well, let's hope Noddy Tompkins doesn't drive in VR. That's all I can say, as we're back under caution. 17 laps to go, Jai.
Yeah, it was definitely a ride and definitely a eyes closed moment for Noddy there if he is in VR. But yeah, big wreck and just a couple of cars getting caught up and a few trucks firing their noses into the quarter panels of other trucks as they were spinning, and that really fires the next truck head first into the wall or head first across the apron there. So biggest wreck we've had all night, but the big one is still yet to come, or are they going to have a hard sprint race to the end, as it will be only 15 laps to the checkered flag on this green on the restart.
Sim Boys will still lead the field 2 abreast for the first 2 rows. Ryan, we know you're still in the booth here, mate. You have driven in VR. Obviously, how would that feel, you think? That's definitely close your eyes and hope for the best, because if you don't, well, I think you need a bucket.
Yeah, definitely, and would have been a bit scary. If I'm honest, I've been in a crash pretty much like that before, and the times that I've been turned over my nose, like earlier, we had like one of those incidences where I was turned. I've had one of those before where I've been in a barrel roll, and yeah, it's not nice being in like that.
The pace truck lights are out. 16 laps to go. There'll be 15 by the time we cross the strike. Simboy's still controlling this race nicely. Third caution of the night. And like we've seen in the last restart, well, they'll count each other down when they're going to go, because remember, the Geico restart zone is only relatively new. Or is it? I keep saying it and have said it for probably the last few rounds now, but in the big scheme of things, the Geico restart zone is only a new addition to the service, and we've explained that a couple of times how that works. I did have a camera there, but it's failing me tonight. But well, we're just about to see that come into play. Blue section, they can go. Simboys, they're gone, and well, that was quite evident. They called each other in. Good for the Pinnacle boys to go with him. The 21 machine of Justin Witcher, I've just seen, he's getting held up a little bit now by Kenny. I've seen him jump to the top row to pick up his teammates, but have a look a little bit further back. Kenny goes down. The 06 of is that the... No, that's the 06 of... who's that?
I believe that's the 90 of Nigel Payton, just joining onto that Pinnacle train up the top row, but also that brown truck. Third on the inside, Dwayne Priest, another Simboy. All 5 Simboys are lined up at the front of this field with 4 Pinnacles on that top line, taking it to him. Kim Roffey currently sitting in that 7th place, up 36 positions in that middle split racing car. The yellow truck with white bonnet is making a charge to the run. But look at that colourful jelly bean car coming up the centre at the moment. Michael Skurlock, he's back. He's getting to the close to the finish, and he's making his charge up to the front quite quickly.
Yeah, well, we're getting to that point now of the race where, well, you're good to go home. There's no use stuffing around. Have a look at this. Middle split guy just get blocked by one of the Pinnacle boys, because they know if they let him in, he's going to get... he's going to team up with his team. Have a look at this. 3 wide down the straight here at Daytona. They pick up all their teammates, picking up the colours, finding their colours. And just on that brown truck of Dwayne Priest, this must be an initiation, don't you think? As you have a look at this livery, I think that may be a initiation into the Simboys, because check it out, I think he's got Proby on the back as well.
Yeah, it's definitely not the typical Simboys paint job on that truck, but I do race in a league on a Sunday night with the Simboys, and I can tell you that Dwayne Priest has just got his official Simboys colours in that league. So look for him and look for him to get a proper Simboys paint before next year or next season, especially with this dominant performance and having all 4 Simboys up the front and making his way up the front to add to that Simboy kind of dominance that we're seeing here tonight. Don't think it'll be too long before we see him in his proper Simboy colours.
You see the 17 of Raymond Yeager now getting racy. He wants to move up the front. He's got his team behind him. He wants to take it up 3 wide. His mates are there ready. They're going to say, mate, I'm going to go with you if they are. The 29 of Spencer, he's right there ready to pounce, as is Witcher and Payton. This is what the team, this is where the teams are most important. Simboys controlling this race as they have for the majority. 5 in front. Pinnacle, they're 4 deep on the top line. What's that start from about 4th position or 3rd truck on the high line. So when do you make the move to get round, mate? Because the Pinnacle boys, they definitely look racy, and they look to want to make this 3 wide, but I think they're just second guessing it at the minute.
Yeah, it's just buying their time and really making that decision on when to go. But we did see that middle split truck firing it up the centre lane and really making a charge forward before getting blocked. he's actually just hit pit road, so he'll be looking not to go a lap down at the moment, which is only about 10 seconds down the road from this lead pack as well. So the charge can happen, but if you get it wrong and it may just make a little bit of contact, or even get a 4x or anything like that, it can go wrong quite quickly. So you just have to kind of bide your time, and especially be in communication with your teammates. When are we going to get the run? Do we drop back a little bit, get more of a run before we pull out, and really take it to these sim boys as they just catch up to a lap car here. Michael Skurlock may get trapped up the top here as he's coming around 3 wide on the top of, I think that's Stephen Williams and one of the Skypoynt entries as well. So look for him just to file back underneath these 2 lap cars now up the top, and get back in line before losing too much time. But you can use these lap cars as a pick as well, and kind of use them to block the cars around you per se, and really use them to your advantage to go out front. But still, the 5 Simboy trucks out front, and Pinnacle's looking quite strong at the outside. Just see him poke their nose out down the back straight, so this might be time to go with 10 to go.
We've got 10 to go. Final race of the series. Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. Pinnacle, this is it. We just asked the question, when's the time to go? The time is now. The 4 go up high. We're going to see 3 wide here at Daytona. We got 10 laps to go. Simboy's been dominant all race long. They've blocked out the Pinnacle this time round as well. So we still stay Simboys. We now go 3 wide. Oh, just briefly. Oh no, there's a car around. I think that may be, is that Stevie Williams?
Stephen Williams. Just getting loose to the tribal and getting into the wall there, but they keep it straight and just breaks up this lead pack a little bit. But that was really important by the Pinnacle boys there as well. They pulled out, went for a run, and saw a lap car coming up, and just lifted enough to get back behind those 2 Simboy cars and not get held up by that lap car. So they'll be looking to try that again, but they have shown their hand now, and they'll maybe have to try something new or a different part of the track, as we see Michael Skurlock going to that high side 3 wide again around turn 4, still trying to make his way up the front of this pack.
Remember, Michael Skurlock is leading the Daytona leg of the Triple Crown, although the Royal Triple Crown cannot be won. The King of Daytona, we've said it a couple of times, is still up for grabs. He's there. He's sitting there in 12th. He's ready to pounce. He's moving him up, picking him off. He's got a Nitro boy up ahead of him. Lap traffic now is starting to come into effect, because you don't know when to throw it 3 wide, although they are now. Sim boys just, oh no, that's the lap traffic. So you don't want to go 3 wide because of that, because if you chuck your nose out there and you commit, and if you're going to go 3 wide and push 4 cars around, you really need, what do you reckon, Jai? It's a good part of half a lap to get 4 of your teammates around maybe 3 or 4 trucks.
Yeah, it definitely is hard, but just quickly touching on that Crown of Daytona, actually, Pete, Skurlock is, as mentioned, in 11th as it stands at the moment. His closest competitor for that Daytona Crown is Tom Pritchard down in 16th position. So essentially he just has to finish in front of Tom and he will secure that crown as well. So he's shown this whole season, both him and Dave Douglas working together, especially the race brains on the top of those 2 boys' heads. They're quite good racers, quite well thought out racers as well. So he'll just be just in the back of the mind. He's just maybe doing it a bit conservative, making sure that he does stay in front of Tom and does pick up that crown. But at the end of the day, we're all racers and we're all looking for the win. So that may be alright. But he does have a little bit of help around him with Jason Holdsworth, another privateer in this one, as I do believe Dave Douglas may have been caught up in the earlier incidents.
Dave Douglas is way down. He's actually sitting in pits. Hang around though, Dave, if you're watching. Lap traffic's coming into park. We'll try and get a chat with you. It's almost like the calm between before the storm, but we got the Sim boys still blocking out the Pinnacle on the right. Have a look at that. That's quite evident now. So this is well, this is going to boil over soon, because these guys, and you're dead right, we had 45 trucks take to the field, and I can tell you at the start of this race, 45 trucks wanted to win it. We've got around about 26, 27 cars, I think, or 20, oh, 22, we got the big one, and it was out the front. Oh no, look at this. This is the big one, Jai. We did ask the question before. Is the big one coming? Have we seen it? Well, the answer, yes, we just did. I didn't quite see that all unfold, but quite a few big names taken out of that. The Sim Boys, though, look like they got through. Wellman, Donnelly, Maxwell, Rothy, Patton got through, Skurlock got through. And quite a few trucks in that one, Jai. Wow, there's the big one with what will be 3 laps to go when we go green.
Yeah, it definitely was a big one, and definitely took out a lot of cars in that top pack. We did have, I think it was 13 trucks in that top pack, which majority of them will have damage or be out of the race with that one, including one of my teammates, actually, Aiden 40. He's been a bit of a quiet achiever tonight. He's currently in 7th, up 24, but a lot of smoke coming out of that motor as well, as he was just touching on the back of these guys and going all right. But yeah, it just looks like that first Pinnacle car, just upside down at the moment, may have gone to give him a push and really maybe try and push those Sim Boys out a bit further up and really open up the opportunity to have a few of these cars get through and not make them kind of run side by side enough or any longer. But yeah, just a bump gone wrong, or a bump that couldn't be held on, and as a result, quite a few trucks heavily damaged in this incident here.
Tyson McEvoy was involved in that. A couple of Sim Boys involved in that. Yeah, just a... well, I did say it was going to boil over because, well, these drivers have been looking at the back end of these Sim Boys for now what's got to be close to 70 laps. So you want to get past. You need to get past if you want to win this race. But, well, there's that saying coming out again, Jai. If you want to finish first you must finish. 4 laps to go. That was on, though. You needed to get past, I think. Having a look at those Sim Boys rear ends of them trucks all night. I tell you, you'd want to, you'd want to get past, as we see. I think that's one of the Skypoynt entries. Just getting the lucky dog there.
Yeah, there'll be Colin Fillan just rolling around the outside, getting one of his laps back. But I'm not sure if we will get back under green before it uses the green-white checker that we do have here tonight. We've got one green-white checker to finish this one off. So if we go green, I believe in 2 laps time, it won't use that, so that's still up to be in play. But what that incident has caused, 6th and 7th position, Michael Skurlock, Tom Pritchard, they are together.
Well, the teammates now, a couple of them have been separated, but they've found each other. And, well, if you want to be around your teammates and you want to be able to be pushed home or push one of your teammates home. But, well, what we're going to see, these guys are probably a little bit more sensible than what I would be. But if we do miss out on the green-white checker, and, well, if I was one of these guys that are in the hunt, which is probably, you could say, any one of the top 10. Luke Kenny's one of them. He got through. Well, it's time for foot flat time and just not lift, really. If we got to go 2 laps, it's going to be like that. And, you know, won't be surprised if we see another wreck like that to cross the line with. But everyone wants to win. It's the final lap or final laps of this season. And I wonder if Skurlock got through. So Michael Skurlock leading the Daytona leg of the Royal Triple Crown. Obviously can't win the Royal Triple Crown, but he can still win the King of Daytona. He's moved up to 6th, so he got through that bit of a wreck there. Luke Kenny as well, we've been talking him up 26 positions though. Still not the biggest mover, rather. Kim Roffey is 39 positions, 32 for our race leader as well. So remember, we did have around about 10 trucks to start out a pit lane as the lights go out, Jai, but I think we may still be in line for this green-white checker.
Yeah, it was really important going across the line the last time they started forming up with 3 to go, so they'll take the green flag with 2 to go, which means that green-white checker is still available to be used if needed. So it'll be either a 2-lap dash or it'll go caution, and we'll have another 2-lap dash opportunity. So look for the runs to be quite big here and quite confident as they take the restart through the Geico restart zone. Look for these 3 sim boys to really link up and really they might go in a train down. They might not decide to block both lanes as Skurlock dives to the bottom down and making a run up behind these leaders.
Yes, Skurlock's been strong here tonight. He's been smart as he has all series. There we go. Past these cameras, as field split up already. 2 laps to go. Green white checker still in play. What will happen? Will we wreck out? We're going 3 wide. Pinnacle to the outside. That's the number 90. Number 90 of Wellman's taking the lead just briefly. Cade Donnelly, though, has the underneath. He's got his teammate pushing. Will Skurlock work with him? We've got Tom Pritchard work in the middle. He's pushing the 41. Here we go. Tom Pritchard, remember, he can block this and get this King of Daytona, I do believe, Joe. I may be wrong. 3 wide, we're still looking. Highline's looking busy. White flag has been flown. Skurlock pushing the outside line. Simboys down the inside line. 3 wide. Here we go, Jai. This is a good way to finish, and this is going to be your last time in the booth for this series. I'll hand over to you, Jai. Call the last lap of this race.
Yeah, we're still looking 3 wide, about 3-4 rows back as well as we come down the final back straight for the final time. We've got Wellman, Donnelly and Nigel Payton all leading all 3 rows here. Skurlock's pushing Nigel here, Tom's pushing Cade, and then Maxfield's pushing Wellman down the bottom, working as a team. Nigel just goes to push, and then it all goes wrong. But they will race back to the checkered flag as they are on the final lap with Wellman, Donnelly and Maxfield doing a little bit of a formation finish here as they all cross the line. 1, 2 and 3. Wellman, you winner. Maxfield second. Donnelly third. And we've got Skurlock in 4th. So that's enough for him to hold on to the King of Daytona. And we've got Luke Kenny in the number 27 up 30 positions, finishing P5.
Well, I tell you, I'm going to get Luke in. Chop, if you're watching, get him up into the green room. We'll get a chat with Luke. 3 wide finish. How's that, Aaron, if you're still watching, mate? Sim boys 1, 2 and 3. I tell you, the Sim boys, Jai, and I think Ryan's still in here as well, but the Sim boys, well, they deserve to win this race, mate, because they didn't step a foot wrong. They controlled this race from almost start to finish. Sim boys 1, 2 and 3 to cap off what was a sensational Skypoynt NASCAR Truck Series. But, well, Sim boys 1, 2 and 3. There's going to be 8 of them next season. Jesus, it's going to be a good next season. But right now, Sim boys, got to be proud of that one.
Oh, definitely right. That was a dominant form and a dominant showing from the Sim boys in the grand finale here for season 2, and just a little bit of a taste in what we might have to expect into season 3, and just that 3 wide slow down lap as we just see some of the drivers having a bit of fun in the background. But just yeah, the 3 wide salute and the 3 wide kind of run down the back straight after the race, and really kind of just congratulating each other, and what a very nice and dominant run. And they're definitely a strong team in everything they run, and just see Gary Wellman burning it up for his celebration donuts as well. So textbook run by the Sim boys, and maybe something to think towards going up against the Sim boys into season 3 as well.
Gary Wellman smokes him up on the grass. His teammates there as well. Oh, we've got a few guys celebrating as well. I think that's Ryan Barber, mate. Is that you that just got on your lid? I tell you, are you in VR? But yeah, get out of their celebrations, Tyson. The 45, Gary Wellman, takes out P1, and well, it was looking like there was not going to be anyone else to win this, as Tyson McAvoy just photo bombs that perfect photo opportunity with our race winner over the Daytona print on the ground. But have a look at this. We got Sim boys everywhere. 1, 2 and 3. Dave Douglas is in there as well. Remember Dave Douglas, he's doing burnouts because he is our overall series champion, as Dave Douglas is going to take off and do his salute to the crowd and a little bit of an expression session. So Dave, 29th here tonight, but, well, you didn't get the Royal Triple Crown, but you got the overall championship. So we've got quite a few people to talk to here tonight. Jai, we'll have a short break while we watch these guys just enjoy, and we'll get the interviews underway. But Sim Boys 1, 2, and 3 for the grand finale, Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks E-Series. We've got the podium room, the green room filling up. We'll get through these results, Jai, but what a great way to finish a great series with the Sim Boys 1, 2, and 3. But of course, the fights that were up and down the pack all night. I think we only had 3 caution periods, Jai, over 80 laps.
Yeah, it was a bit of a different Daytona than the last time we were out, but how good was the racing and how good was the teamwork up and down the field tonight. We saw all the teams running together and really finding each other well and really working together to make their way up the front. And I just can't get past the how well of a race in entirety that the Sim Boys ran tonight. Very dominant and yeah, probably the most dominant I've seen a team, and how well a team has worked together in quite a long time. And that was only 5 Sim Boys trucks up the front late on in that race, and they've got 8 next season as well, so it's only going to be stronger and harder to get past those boys.
Well, you're going to be behind the wheel, mate, so enjoy that challenge next season. But the grand finale, Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks Series, here's how they rounded it out here for the Daytona. 3rd time we were here at Daytona. Gary Wellman, Todd Maxfield, and Cade Donnelly, all Sim Boys 1, 2, and 3, with a good run for Michael Skurlock around the outside. He got through that last wreck that we had. Luke Kenny with the top 5 as well, so he's got some form coming off the back of that couple of weeks suspension. We've seen him earlier on in the season, or earlier on when he joined the season. Peter Jones Bruns, Colin Finland for Southern Stars, up there in 8th, 9th for Seidel, and 10th for Roffey, and a couple of names down there that probably would have liked to be up the top. Tom Pritchard was making a charge through the field as well, but Michael Skurlock finishing in 4th position. I do believe that will give him the King of Daytona.
Yeah, definitely will, and that was enough to hold off Tom Pritchard in 2nd place in that challenge there as well, unfortunately getting caught up in that last incident. So yeah, definitely Skurlock taking out the King of Daytona, and Darren McKenzie did the King of Talladega, and Dave Douglas taking out the overall championship. So 3 championships he won, and 3 different winners in those championships as well. Just goes to show how close and how competitive this series was all season long.
Yeah, it was a great season to watch, and well, it's going to be closer again next season. If you want to become a part of it and be on track with these boys next season, go check out the skypoynt.com website and follow the prompts to Season 3. Registrations are open. 30 drivers already signed up for this one. So for the next one, will start next week. No rest for the Wicked here. But, well, we're going to get a couple of different guys in the chat, Jai, so let's head over into the podium room and let's get a chat with these boys. There's quite a few people up in the booth, so let's hope we can keep it PG. But how good was that for the grand finale with Sim Boys 1, 2, and 3? They got to be happy with that, and we've got the guys in here now, and well, Sim Boys, you got to be happy with that. We'll start with you, Cade, mate. What was the thought process through tonight, mate? I think I said in commentary, if I've ever seen a race being controlled, tonight was the night, because, well, you couldn't even get past yous if they tried, because yous were separated by enough distance to block the track, and well, it ended up with people trying to get past you and not finishing the race. So was that the plan, to control the race as you did tonight?
Sure was, mate. Block the track.
Well, they can't get around you, and if they want to send it 3 wide earlier on, well, that's which they tried later on, they still couldn't do it. I think he only lost 2 in that chain, so there's 3 boys out of the 5. I suppose you would have been hoping for the top 5, but you will settle for the top 3, of course.
Yeah, totally, mate. Yeah, it would have been awesome if we were all up there, but, you know, there's a few, boys taken for the team.
Talk us through your rookie, mate, with that livery. Is that a Sim Boys initiation?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, mate.
Well, with his performance the last couple of rounds, can we see him in with the proper colours next season, you think? Has he earned that right, or is that too early to say?
Yeah, he'd probably get a Guernsey, I reckon.
Good stuff. Cade, mate, it was great to watch you and your boys race throughout the season. Have you signed up for next season? Are you going to come and defend, well, the season you had this season?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, we're coming along to block the track again.
Well, there's going to be 80s, I think, so good luck getting past them. And we open up this next series with 3 super speedways for season 3, so more of the same, I reckon, Cade. There's quite a few people to get through here tonight, so we're going to hear your sponsors 3 times, but, well, if you can get a podium lockout, more the merrier, Cade. But last words are on you for this interview. Congratulations on your 3rd. Any shout-outs?
Yeah, well, shout out to Sin Boys, of course. Hot Toddy's Heating Installs and United Electrical Solutions. Yeah, and shout out to Dave.
Hey.
Awesome, Cade, mate. See you next season. Congratulations on your P3 and dominant for your team tonight.
Cheers, mate.
We got Todd Maxfield in here, mate. Well, same sort of questions. You look comfortable out there. Did it feel comfortable?
Yeah, mate, pretty comfy there around the boys. And, I said to them there early in the race when we all got together, it's like, I'm feeling comfy now. The stress is gone. We just got to stick together and block that track and pull her off. So, and yeah, we did.
Well, you did all right. Done a great job almost from start to finish. And talk us through when the Pinnacle boys, they looked kind of racy. And I think I said it in the call that, well, they want to get past, because if I was looking at 4 Sim boys rear ends for bloody 80 laps or 70 laps, I would want to get past Quick Smart as well. But did you think you'd be under fire by the Pinnacle boys as they started to move up?
Oh, most definitely. It's Daytona, mate. Everyone's going to try and push for that win. And yeah, it's just lucky that we held her out, really. And, they took a couple of moves there early, but we sort of held them off there a little bit. And yeah, in the end, that last wreck there just pulled it off for us. So there wasn't an issue in that last sort of lap.
Well, mate, we see the Sim boys do well in pretty much every race that you join and you link up as a team, and it's a strong team, the Sim boys, mate, and you're only going to get stronger as you move into season 3, one would suggest.
Yeah, no, that's it, mate. I'm still learning pretty well from these boys as well, which is good. They're towing me along pretty well now. I'm happy where I'm at with them, and yeah, looking into the future, mate. Hopefully I'll keep, getting up on the podium with them, so it'd be great.
Yeah, more of these chats into season 3, hopefully, Todd. But again, with those sponsors, mate, last words for tonight, and shout out to your sponsors, bud.
Yeah, just Hot Toddies, mate, again, and United Electrical. Give Ferris Shifters a call, and yeah, shout out to Dave Douglas.
Yeah, awesome, mate. That was great. Dave, you're going to have to wait just a little bit longer for your chat, mate. But we've got someone in here that's come off the back earlier on in the season, off a couple of weeks suspension, and he's come back and he's fought his way, and he's got a top 5 here tonight. Luke, we got you in here, mate. How was tonight? You've definitely learned a few tricks over the last few rounds being back, and well, tonight, mate, P5, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, no, stoked, dude. No, it was good. bit of a annoying sort of race, having to sit beside the Sim boys and sit behind them. But yeah, congrats to them and congrats to everyone else that was on the podium. But yeah, just putting the hours in and learning tips and tricks. A few people have really sort of helped along the way. And yeah, just it's a patience game, mate. Daytona, it's always going to throw shit at you. And yeah, no, it was a good race. So
I tell you, mate, sitting behind them Sim boys while you're green to the car is probably one of the best places you can sit. But you done well, mate. Top 5, and we don't usually get shout outs for top 5s, but mate, outstanding drive tonight, mate. You got anyone you like to shout out to?
Just Crummy, Chop, Kobe Jordan, Tom Pritchard, Aidan Schultz, Dave Douglas, Darren McKenzie, and yeah, all the guys at Skypoint, yourself for streaming each race. Yeah, killer series, killer induction to iRacing through these guys. So yeah, if anyone's watching and is looking to get into it, just get a rig and jump straight in. It's killer.
It's great, mate. Thanks, Luke. Thanks for the good showing in the back half of the series. We'll see you in Series 3, and good race tonight, mate. You earned this chat.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
And Gary Wellman, mate, you won this race pretty comprehensively. You and your team worked strong all season, mate, and it's just a taste of what we're going to see next season. But talk us through your race tonight, Gary. It's probably much the same with what we've already heard, but how do you see it?
Yeah, no, it was good. We worked together pretty well as a team, and it was a bit of a toss of the coin who just ended up in the hot seat at the end, really. And I was sort of lucky enough to jump into top spot after that last caution come out, and he just held the bottom and drove to the win. So yeah, the boys, we all work well together tonight. We don't always do that, so it was good to pull off the top 3.
Yeah, actually, just you mentioned it, so I'm going to bring it up. With you boys, you're definitely fighting tooth and nail, and some races, I think that your trading paints aren't working because you race that bloody hard that it looks like you're racing someone without the same livery on. What's the go in the team when it comes down to that? You just race and race each other hard still?
Yeah, that's what we're here for, mate. So yeah, it's probably a wonder we're still mates sometimes, but it's it's good fun. We'll have a beer at the end of the week and have a laugh, so we can get over it pretty quick.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a great team. I can't wait to call the races with you boys next season as well. It's going to be a hell of a season. Heaps of teams have come out with big support for each other, so it's going to be a team race, a colours race. I think I called it here tonight, but Jai, mate, I've left you hanging there for a little bit. Gary Wellman, now grand finale winner here tonight. Anything you'd like to say and wrap up the interview with him?
No, just congratulations on the win and rounding out the season on the highest note you probably could. And with that, the first pit stop under green that the Sim boys did kind of on the lonesome, and then the caution came out straight away. Was that a bit of a nervous kind of moment, or was it a kind of moment that you thought, all right, we've got this, we're all up front now and all together?
Yeah, it's probably the turning point of the race. We talked about it a bit on the chat, and we knew we were up front, we're competitive, and we kind of thought it might get a bit crazy if everyone goes into the pits at the same time. So we thought if we get in quick, get our stops done and work as a team, we're probably going to end up in front anyway. And as it was, the caution came out at the perfect time, and after that it was just managing the front of the field there.
Yeah, well, you finished off a stellar the season on a high, like Jai just mentioned, Gary, and well, the beauty with having 3 of you boys on there, your sponsors get 3 shout outs, mate. Any last words and shout outs to the people that get you here?
Yeah, mate. Good work, Luke Kenny. That was a top effort from him because he's learnt the hard way, and it's easy to get disillusioned pretty quick, but he's stuck with it and he's got a good result, so that's cool to see. Thanks also Troy and Precy helped set up the win. They both took it for the team, and they're a big part of the podium tonight. And almost forgotten who the sponsors are because they haven't had a podium for a while, but it's United Electrical, Toddies, Hot Toddies, heating, Ferris Shifters, and shout out to the Bandits. Well done, Dave, for the series win, and thanks to Skypoint and you guys for the broadcast.
Cheers, Gary. Great result for to finish off a season on the high. Hopefully, you can turn around next week. No rest, straight into the action for season 3 next week. Let's hope you can you can go into that one running like you finished this one. But congratulations on our podium, and that's the Sim Boys. Congrats, boys.
Yep, cheers, fellas.
Cheers, mate.
Go the Sim Boys.
Go to Sim Boys. Well, the Royal Triple Crown wasn't taken out, but it was close. Michael Skurlock, I do believe, took the Daytona leg. Darren McKenzie, the Talladega leg. And Dave Douglas, the overall series winner, mate. I know you've got a lot to say and a long list of people that support you. That's why I left you to last, and rightly so. Great season, mate. You up and down race here tonight, but overall you won the series, and well, congrats to you.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, a bit of a average night, wasn't it? But that's the nature of the beast. I got caught out last week for not being aggressive enough, and so I thought I'll try to be aggressive this week. It sort of towards the end of the race there, and ended up into one of the bigger ones anyway. But that's the way it goes. But I was watching the replay there. What happened on the last lap? There was a big kerfuffle up the top there. Pritchard, he went through the air, got the catchment, I think.
Yeah, it was. I think oh no, that was the one before. A couple of people actually went sky high here tonight, but I don't think we actually had a replay. I'll throw a replay of that finish as we wrap this one up, Dave. But
Yeah, for sure.
you and your teammate back together again, Skurlock. He had a pretty good run here tonight, and I'm pretty sure that secured him the Daytona crown. So he must be pretty happy as well.
Yeah, hopefully he had to go out. He had to go pick the missus up, so he couldn't hang around. But yeah, no, he's. That's what I said to him once I was out. I sort of just, I still wanted to do burnouts. That was my whole thing at the end of the night. I just wanted to do some burnouts. So I went and made sure I had enough time to get the car repaired. So while it was getting repaired, I went and did a bit of spotting for Skurlock and walked him through a couple of them wrecks, and enough just to be there at the end. And yeah, come away with the top 5 as well as Luke as well. It's yeah, you can't complain about that, I guess, can you?
Nah, you can't. And, well, super speedways, that's what it's all about. And, well, I've just got the sort of the calendar up for the start of next season. We start the season off next week with no rest, as I've already mentioned. Atlanta,
Ooh.
Talladega, and Daytona. 3 super speedways to start it up. And the crown is back up there again. And also this season, Dave, the Lady Palooza is on prime time on Tuesday night. So cracking series coming up.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, for sure. Well, Skurlock will be happy. He'll be able to get on the entry into the Lady Palooza for sure. But I don't. So we don't have a break, eh? We're straight into it next week, are we?
Straight into it, mate. No rest for the
Yeah,
wicked.
nice. That's it.
130 laps at Atlanta.
Oh, that sounds terrible. But keen to keep on. Let's get it rolling, mate. I like it. Let's no messing about here. Let's get into Christmas. I believe that a couple of rounds after Christmas, so it'll be going to be nice and tight at the end of it. But look, we'll just go back to basics. I think I got a bit too relaxed, I guess, in the back end of the season, just because I had a good points buffer. So I was just trying different things. So it all resets, I guess, next week. So back to just doing the best I can and getting the results out of it, keeping a cool head, mate, when stuff's not going your way. That's what I learned this season. Like, I found myself in some positions where, like, you think, oh, mate, you've been driving for long enough, mate. Just pull your head in, just drive the thing and see where it ends up. And I actually won a few of them, so it was good.
Yeah, it was good. What a season it was, Dave. You're overall season champion, mate. Great season. Can't wait for next season. We'll wrap this up. The post-race review will be up on the Skypoint page very soon. Dave, actually, before we get your shout-outs, Jai, it's your last night in here, and I've just put you on the back burners for this one, but I'm sure you've got a few things to fire off at our series champion, Dave Douglas.
Yeah, just congratulations on a stellar season and sounding pretty keen for season 3. Probably the biggest question going into season 3 that I've got is it still the 10 truck next season, or are you taking on the 1?
Look, we got to. I mean, it's a bit special. So let's do it. We'll peel the 10 off, mate. We'll chuck the 1 on there, and I might even make it golden number 1, mate, just for something different. Put a gold leaf on it. But yeah, look, we've got to try and defend, and there's going to be a few more guys that have built their season this year and been a lot stronger at the back end. So it's going to be a lot tougher next season. But as I said, these guys aren't no slouch this season. But yeah, you just got to, as I said, get your head down and get back into it, I guess.
And also, are you going to, when you go down the garage after this and peel off the one off the Aiden Schulz's car, are you going to be kind enough to put his 52 back on, or is you going to leave it for him to do?
I think he's already left the circuit, I believe, mate. Did he even show up?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if he showed up, mate. I think he kept that thing at home, mate. I reckon.
He wants to. He's kept that sticker in the garage. I think,
Yeah,
mate.
give
He's
it
like,
up.
yeah. If I leave it at home, he can't come and get it. But no, you're
Yeah,
right.
no,
He
we'll go.
He's done 15 laps here tonight. But well, he'll have the 52 back on his truck, and he'll try and get back up there again. But Dave Douglas, you got the number one for next season. What a drive this season, mate. Been a pleasure calling the races. And a last shout out for season 2, mate, to any of your sponsors. Series champion Dave Douglas. Well done.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Yeah, it was, as I said, a good season. 5 wins. Shout out to obviously the Skypoint, all the admin, all the guys in behind the scenes that do all the work. Tom for putting his money where his mouth is, I guess, and putting some bit of moolah up for grabs. So that was definitely entertaining. And I think next season it actually separates in the crown, so it's not a full one big jackpot. I think it's separated. So if you're not already registered, get your regos in, get your noms in, and get yourself sorted. Get out of here. You can win some money. But obviously, shout out to Pete and Jai here for the LRE Sports broadcast all season, I should say. Stellar job. Always enjoy watching these back. It's entertaining, so that's what you want when you're doing this kind of thing. And I guess just shout out to all the drivers for showing up each week, and the numbers prove that it's going in the right direction. So very healthy, and yeah, thanks for the guys showing up and giving us a bit of competition, tough competition. And BMX Bandits, shout out Sim Boys, good win tonight. Welly, those guys, they're on the verge. Them guys, they're knuckling down. They used to be a bunch of knuckleheads, but they're starting to knuckle down. And no, they're good entertainment. I like they're good, them boys. So shout out to them. And yeah, let's crack on. Season 3, baby. Where's me money, Pritchard? Where's me money? Where's the check?
Where's the check? He wants the check already. Congratulations to the Sim Boys for the podium tonight, and Dave Douglas, character, mate. Don't change, mate, and keep pushing on for season 3. Congratulations for season 2 champion.
Yeah, awesome. Cheers, boys.
And Jai, well, it's the we got the format up on screen, and well, as Dave just said, you get your regos in and everything, because as it turns out, you can get your money back. It's a buy-in, obviously, but have a look at them prizes. The $100 Crown Series winner, and there's and that'll be a little bit different from this series. We'll go live a little bit earlier next week and run through that with a little bit more description. And $30 per race win. So remember, it's a 16 round champion, and $20 for runner up. And also a random draw, and this will be drawn on the post race in the review that's just about to come up on the Skypoint page. $10. So, well, if you get a couple of them, and or even one of them and a runner up, or one race win, you can still buy in for the championship, and you can still get there. But qualifying server will be used this time, Jai, to get in, because haven't we seen the numbers come in and come in really quick? So they've had to implement a qualifying server for this one. But all in all, I think this one's going to be even bigger than the one that we've just witnessed, and you're going to be on track for this one, mate. So have a look at these prizes that even you could be in for a chance. And I mean even you, because you're now going to be on the track.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it, and did a truck leg last night and finished second, so I'm hoping to bring that luck across to the Skypoint next season and see how I do. But definitely a very competitive field, and interested to see how I go. But with the prize money up for grabs per race, if you do get a race win, you've already won your buy-in, and you're essentially racing the rest of the season for free. So definitely shout out to the Skypoint boys and all the admin and all the guys that are behind the scene and in making this league bigger and better, and really the place to be on your Tuesday nights.
Well, it has been the place we've came and enjoyed every Tuesday nights. Jai, like you said, you're retiring out of the commentary box for this series, and you're going to be behind the wheel. So I can't wait to call your races. But a little bit little bit down that I can't call the races with you next season. So it's been a pleasure calling season 2 of the Skypoynt NASCAR trucks with you, mate, and we'll be rooting for you in season 3. So any last words from you, and we'll wrap this boy up at Daytona.
Nah, just a shout out to you, Pete. Just been a pleasure all season long to call races with you and kind of taking me on board when I hadn't really done that kind of role before this series as well. So yeah, definitely a good shout out to you and a pleasure calling these races with you all season long.
Yeah, it's been great. Season 2 of the Skypoynt NASCAR Trucks series. Well, the Sim Boys finished this series off with a comprehensive victory. 1, 2, and 3. They're looking to get the top 5 in, but a late wreck held them out for that. Michael Skurlock ended up grabbing the Daytona leg, and Darren McKenzie with the Talladega, and of course Dave Douglas with the series win. Skypoynt Royal Triple Crown didn't go off, but boy, it was close. It was down to the wire. But, well, that's season 3 done and dusted. Shout out to everyone. Keep coming back. Tuesday night's going to get better and better on the LR Esports Network. My name's Peter Gretton. Jai Schultz is in the comms for the last time. We'll have a new voice alongside me next season. But from everyone here, keep on doing what you're doing. We'll see you next season. Cheers.
Goodbye, everyone.